Hello students, welcome to Power Tutorials. So today in this video we are going to start with class 9 maths chapters, that is from chapter 1, and today we are going to start with only exercise 1.1. So as you are all aware that CBSE 9th class CBSE board has changed the curriculum of 9th class CBS 9th class ncert textbook. So most of the chapters, I think three to four chapters are changed completely, and then they have also increased few competency types, and they have reduced the lengthy type of questions or lengthy type of chapters which were already present in the previous edition. Okay, so that's why I clearly mentioned here it is a new syllabus, and starting from chapter 1, new syllabus which is of 2026 board, that is 2026-27. you can see clearly I have clearly mentioned the status which is 2026-27. it is a new syllabus of class 9 maths, and here the first chapter is use of coordinates, and in this video we are going to cover the questions of exercise 1.1. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is a new syllabus here, so very clear new syllabus class 9, and the first chapter, as I mentioned, orienting yourself means getting ourselves accumulated or understand with the details of chapter 1, which is the use of coordinates. So first, so if you want to go to the history, there are so many scientists we have created, and it also goes to our Indian scientists like Brahmagupta and all. And also, first of all, what is coordinates? So coordinates is to help to identify any particular position. Okay, for suppose if I say, I think in the science, in the social studies, you might have heard about longitudes and latitudes. Okay, longitudes and latitudes of globe you will find. So latitudes are the horizontal or longitudes are the vertical lines. So based upon latitudes and longitudes, we can figure out at particular position what is the particular map or located it. Okay, so you might have seen if you have any map in your place, or if you have a globe, so there are lines like this, vertical lines and horizontal lines. So the horizontal lines, the middle one we call it as equator, and then we have Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 north, and one Tropic of Capricorn, it is 23.5. so what are these horizontal lines? Same as you also have vertical lines. So if you have horizontal as well as vertical lines, you can figure out the particular position of any element. So why do we need to coordinates is, so currently we are talking about 2D geometry here. We also have 3D and so on, and we also studied in our previous classes 1D. So what is 1D? 1D is one dimensional. The word D is dimensional. So suppose if you have a number line like this, and if you have numbers like suppose 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, in the same way negative lines we call it as -1, -2, -3 and so on. So what is this? This is one dimensional. We have only one dimension, that is numbers at only one axis. We don't have any other thing. What about 2D? The word itself it is saying is two dimensional. So we have two things, horizontal and vertical. So this is horizontal line and this is vertical line. So using two positions we can find out at for suppose if I say the number lines is the same way as here but two dimensions. So here the horizontal line will become 1, 2, 3 and so on. Same as left side, as I mentioned, left side already considered as negative, 1, -1, 2, 3 and so on. And the top is just assume that this has been moved to the 90 degrees to the top. So now the top will be always positive, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and the bottom is -1, -2, -3 and so on. So why we are using this geometry? To identify any particular position, and as of now we are studying about 2D, but in the future also in the class 11th or something, if you want to study maths or MPC kind of branches, there will also find 3D geometry as well. 3D is, so this is 2D. What about 3D means whichever is above it or behind the, okay, suppose this is a page, then above this page is one dimension and behind this page will be the negative further dimension. So we call it as Z axis. Okay, so as of now just understand that the horizontal line we represent it as X axis, vertical line we represent it as Y axis, and as of now 2D is enough for 9th as well as 10th class as well, whereas for 11th and all we will also learn about third geometry which is 3D. Okay. So now just let us understand about 2D in detail, because it is a first exercise, so we'll go slow, step by step. We'll study each and everything in detail because it is a new syllabus. You cannot find any old videos in all other channels because those will not be sufficient for our new ncert syllabus. So that's why make sure to follow this channel. If you have any other channels also, if you're following new syllabus, then yes, you can also follow them if you're interested, but I will do my best to get maximum doubts or the concepts clear in this playlist, and from today onwards I have started. So let's continue with the next slide. So here you can see this, we call it as graph sheet. Okay, so what is graph sheet means? We have two things. If you zoom any particular point, what we'll have, we have something like this: vertical lines and horizontal lines. So using this vertical lines and horizontal lines, we can figure out any particular position. Okay, so if you, as I mentioned, we consider the x-axis as the horizontal line as x-axis and the vertical line as the y-axis. So if you see here, positive I told, to the right side we have 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 7 and so on. This arrow represents it's a continuous line. Okay, whereas the left side we call it as negative x-axis, so it is 0, -1, -2, -3 and so on, and it will continue same as on top, same as on bottom. So just remember, right side is positive x, left side is negative x, top is positive y, bottom is negative y, and the point of intersection of these two lines we call it as O, which is origin. So the what is the value of origin? Origin point is very easy, it is 0.0, where x is 0 and y is also 0. Okay, now let's see the questions of exercise 1.1, which is exercise set 1.1. What is the question? Figure 1.3 shows Rian's room with points OABC marking its corners. The x and y axis are marked in the figure. Point O is the origin. So if let's see the diagram here. Okay, this is a diagram here. So we have, this is the room of Rian. So what is that room? This is a bedroom. Why? Because we have a bed here and we have one table which has some light post. WSP. Hi Mufi, thanks for joining. I'm not sure about what is WSP. Can you please explain that word if you want any doubt? Okay, so continue. So this, what is Rian's bedroom is showing? It is showing that we have a bed here, we have an S2, that is a table with small lamp, and then we have a wardrobe here, and this is the right wall, this is y. Okay, this is the axis they have mentioned, x-axis and y-axis. If you notice, it belongs to only positive x and positive y. So as per the coordinate geometry, if I talk about, so the room is here. Okay, I'll mark it with another color. So in this case, they are talking about the room is in this direction. There is no positions of these three. Negative, we don't have it. Okay, they're saying that the room is exactly at this point, because the borders they have clearly mentioned. This is origin, which is O, and then we have the x-axis, and then we have the positive y-axis. Okay, so if you notice here, they have mentioned so many points. We have W1, W2, W3, W4. These are the coordinates for wardrobe, and then we have D1 here, and R1 maybe it is for door. And then we have wall here, it is the border of that room. We have point B, this is the border of here, point A, point C, and point O, and we have B1, B2, and then we have S1, S2, S2, S3. This is for bed coordinates. We call it as coordinates. Coordinates means which is having the vertices, which is x and y coordinate. So we call x and y as coordinates. Okay, so based upon the positions, we have so many coordinates. So based on the coordinates, we need to understand what is the position. So if I talk you, so without any coordinates, we cannot say where the bed is located. We can simply say it is somewhere closer to the top wall or somewhere left side, but we don't know the exact position or how much distance it is. So to find the distance also, we need to have coordinates. Now we can see, if you notice here, I can say that S1, that is bed will starting from 1, 2, 3, 5th point on y-axis, and it is ending till 6th point on x-axis. So in this way I can figure out the points. Okay, so that's why the coordinates are important. So or else just assume that in your room, the currently if you suppose in your hall, if you are watching this TV, this video on the TV, then suppose this is hall and we have a TV here. Okay, so if I assume the same way that I have the coordinate axis something like this origin, which is 0, 0, so I will keep on moving 1, 2, 3 and so on, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Same as in the left side, I'll give it as 1, 2, 3 and so on. So 1, 2, 3, I'm talking about units here, so I'm assuming 1 unit is 1 feet. Okay, so if I ask you at which position the TV is starting, we can say that as per the 1 unit, if you're talking about 1 feet, then it is 1 feet to the right, and the top, if it is 4, so it should be 5, I'm assuming here. So 5 feet from the wall and from the bottom wall, and 1 feet from the left wall. We can say that this is the starting position of TV. Hope you are getting what is coordinates I'm talking about. So same way, let's see what are the questions now. First one, if D1 R1 represents the door of Rian's room, how far is the door from the left wall, the y-axis of the room? How far is the door from the x-axis? So D1 R1 they're talking about. How far is the door from left wall? So this is left wall, which is y-axis. So from y-axis, what is D1 position? If you notice here, the D is positioned at plus 8. So the first point, from left wall, door is positioned at 8 units. So here they haven't mentioned it is feet, centimeters or something, so that's why I clearly just using units as a value. It is 8 units from left wall. What about how far is the door from x-axis? From x-axis, the door distance is 0 units. Why it is 0? Because the wall itself, the door itself is on x-axis. There is no distance. If suppose there is some gap and then the door is present, then this distance will be the distance from x-axis. But for this question, if you notice, the door itself is on x-axis, there is no distance again. Okay, before I ask you what is the distance from x-axis of the bed, then it is 5 units. But the door itself is on x-axis, there is no distance. Okay, so here you can see the D1 represents a door. How far is the door from left wall? It is 8 units. How far is the door from x-axis? It is 0 units, because the door itself is on the x-axis. Okay, let's see the second question. What is the coordinates of D1? So coordinates of D1 is easy. It is on x-axis. On x-axis, the y coordinate will be 0. So it is only D is how much? 8. 8 comma 0 is the coordinates of D1. As any point on y-axis, on x-axis, the y value is 0. Y value is always 0 for any point on x-axis, same as for any point on y-axis, x points will be 0. If you notice here, h is 0 and g is also 0. So any point on x-axis, y is 0. Any point on y-axis, x is 0. Sorry, y-axis x is 0, x-axis y is 0, just opposite. Okay, let's see the third question. If R1 is the point 11.5, 0, how wide is the room? So we have, how wide is the door? Okay, so we have D1 R1 is the door. So D point is 8, 0 and R point is 11.5, 0. So how far is the door? Means just a distance between these 2 points. So it is on x-axis, so simply I can subtract the door wide or door width is equal to 11.5 minus 8. So the door width is 3.5 units. Okay, so I think the units is feet only wherever the distance, because if you notice here the bed is 7 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 into 4 is a bed, so yes, it should be in feet, so I'm assuming it is 3.5 feet, because the dimensions mostly for any blueprints it will be in feet only. Okay, same way here I can also say it is 8 units or 8 feet from y-axis and 0 feet from x-axis. Let's see the next question. Okay, wait, it is not yet done. How far is the door? It is 3 feet. How width? 3.5 feet. Do you think this is comfortable width for a room door? If a person in a wheelchair wants to enter a room, will he or she will be able to do easily? Okay. Wheelchair generally will be the size of, suppose, a normal chair. I think 3.5 feet should be sufficient. Okay. General, as per Google, I will give you general width of wheelchair Okay, so as per Google, I have just confirmed that the width of wheelchair in general width of wheelchair in general is how much? It is 2 to 2.5 feet. 2 to 2.25 feet. So yes, it is 3.5 feet, so easily it will enter. So will he or she able to enter easily? The answer is yes, because in general it is 2 to 2.5 feet, whereas the width of the door we found it as 3.5 feet. So it will easily cross it. Okay. Next, fourth question. I think this is the last question of exercise 1.1. So what is the question? If B1 is present, B2 is present, represents the ends of bathroom door. Okay, where is B1, B2? Okay, here we have. Okay, so here B1, B2 is okay, I will mark it with another color. So this is B1 and this is B2. B1, B2 represents, so from bedroom they have a door which is connecting to a bathroom. Okay, so now what I am saying, yeah, hi Akansh, thanks for joining. Akansh Rawat, yeah. Okay. It is Akansha Rawat. Yeah, hi Akansha, thanks for joining. So here I am explaining about exercise 1.1 of class 9th CBSE board. Okay, let's continue with our question. We have B1 and B2 represents the ends of a bathroom door. Is the bathroom door narrower or wider than the room door? So the width of bathroom door, I will write it here. Width of bathroom door is equal to 4 minus 1.5, which is 2.5 feet. Okay, if you notice here, the width of normal door is how much? We got 3.5 feet, whereas the width of bathroom door is 2.5. So always, you might have seen in your home as well, the room door will be wider when compared to the bathroom door. Okay, because in bathroom door no need to check wheelchair and all, but still if you want you can try it, because it is still less than, I mean greater than the wheelchair width, but still if you notice the hall door will be much wider when compared to the bedroom door also, because there we have to we'll be having the longer doors. I think 4 feet will be the general width of a hall door, whereas 3.5 will be general for bedroom door or something, whereas bathroom door will be little smaller when compared to the main doors. So what is, so is the bathroom door narrower or wider than room door? The answer is, therefore bathroom door is narrower because it is smaller than bedroom door or the room door. See, the exercise 1.1 is very easy question. Just you need to understand the positions. If you understand the exact position, you can easily solve this type of questions. Okay, so I'll just repeat small content here. So as per the coordinates, we have to find the points and then figure out the exact questions what they're asking. If you notice here, the door is on x-axis, and whereas the bedroom door and bathroom door is on y-axis. So bedroom door, if I talk about what is the distance, I simply this r point minus d point, if I take, that will be the distance of my room door, where about the distance of the bathroom door will be this distance from 2 to 1.5, which is 2.5. So where this is located on x-axis, the distance from x-axis is 0. Where this is located on y-axis. So distance of bathroom door from y-axis will be 0. If they talk about distance from x-axis, then it will be this distance, which is 1.5 feet. Okay. So before going to the exercise 1.2 tomorrow, I'll give a small introduction about quadrants. So what is quadrants? Quadrants means 1/4 of any structure. So here we are talking about 1/4 of graph sheet. Okay, so if you notice here, so this point is nothing but quadrant 1. This point, this 1/4 graph is nothing but quadrant 4, and this we call about quadrant 3, and this we call about quadrant 2. So the left side where both are positive is quadrant 1, and x is positive, y is negative is quadrant 4, and both are negative, we call it as quadrant 3, and y is positive and x is negative is quadrant 2. Okay, so if I tell you, if I have a point P where it is 2, 4, can you find what is the coordinate? The coordinate should be quadrant 1. Why? Because both x and y are positive, it will be somewhere here. Same way, if I say I have a point S, the the value of the S is -1, -5, then where will be this point? It will be in quadrant 3, because x is negative and y is also negative, so this point is S. Okay, so people who are in live session, I want anyone have to answer this question. I am saying that I have a point B which belongs to, the point value is -2, 1. Can you guys tell me it belongs to which quadrant? Okay, I will give 1 minute time. I want you guys to answer. The SB point belongs to which quadrant? Hi Kanak, thanks for joining. Kanak, can you tell me the B point belongs to which quadrant? Okay, maybe you're feeling shy or something, but fine. So the point B belongs to quadrant 2. Why? Because x is negative here and y is positive, so this value belongs -2 and 1, so this will be quadrant B. Okay, so this point is -2, 1. Same as I'll give one question and I will not give the answer, so whoever watching this video later, they have to answer me this point. It belongs to which quadrant? I have a point A which is -4, -3. So this is the question. I want you guys to answer. It belongs to which quadrant? And kindly mention in the comment section. I will check and respond to you. Okay, and repeating the question, I want you guys to answer. I will mention in comments. Mention in comments. Point A, which is 4, -3, belongs to which quadrant? Okay, so thanks for joining. Let's continue again with exercise 1.2. Mostly tomorrow I'll try to have this live session. So make sure to subscribe and enable notification for the notification of the live video of exercise 1.2. Thank you. Let's meet again.